Hello everyone, this is Wade from High Tech Legion, and with over 1,500 videos uploaded, if you haven't seen it here, you may not have seen it anywhere. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 960. This happens to be the G1 Gaming Edition, so it is a WindForce 3X cooling solution on it, Gigabyte's custom cooling solution, and it also has 1024 CUDA cores. It has a 128-bit memory bus with 2 gigs of memory. But let's take a closer look at the card. I'll tell you a little bit more about the specifics. We can take a look at the accessories and, of course, the benchmarks for this card in many of the current games that are out there. Without further ado, the card. So here we have a closer look at the Gigabyte G1 Gaming GeForce GTX 960. Of course, it supports all the nVidia technologies such as GameStream, GameWorks G-Sync, and it also supports DirectX 12 for those future games. What we have here is one heck of a cooler on the GeForce 960. So this is quite a bit longer than a lot of the other 960s that are available. If you don't mind the length, you're definitely going to appreciate the silence and the cooling. What we've got here is a WindForce 3X cooler on it. It's got custom fans on it so that it will keep everything nice and cool. The shroud is metal, so it's not going to flex or anything like that on you. And you have one heck of a heat sink on it that is going to keep everything cool. There happen to be 4 6mm heat pipes going through the heat sink to dissipate the heat, and those heat pipes are in direct contact with the GPU. You do have your PCI Express 3.0 connector, and you also have the WindForce logo on the top that does light up. There's an additional couple lights here, one that says silent, one that says stop. This fan does have a 0 decibel mode. If it's under a certain temperature and under a certain wattage, it will go into a fan stopped mode. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what it's designed to do for silent gaming. The fans are also designed to stay under 20 decibels. With the 3-fan cooling solution, they're able to keep the RPMs on the fans low and keep them quiet and still remove the appropriate amount of air. This card also happens to have 2 6-pin power connectors on it. Most of the 960s out there have only one. So you're able to put up to 160 watts of power into this card, and it has 6-phase power as well. So it spreads that across the capacitors and helps to keep the card even cooler. One thing you're going to notice on the back, everybody has been wanting back plates on their cards. Gigabyte definitely came through with this one. It's got a nice metal back plate on it with the G1 Gaming logo on it. And you can sort of see some of the circuitry underneath there and the 4 screws where you would be able to pull off the heatsink if for some reason you wanted to do that. There is a SLI connector here that is currently covered up with a protective cover. And also on the input output side connectivity, we actually have 3 display ports, a HDMI port, DVI and DVI dual link on the card itself. So one of the cool things about this is this actually supports flex display. This is a Gigabyte technology that allows you to use any of these ports to be able to stretch your session, automatically stretch your session across multiple monitors. Won't go into too much detail on that in this video, but we can definitely check that out at another point. This does have 1024 CUDA cores. It has a 2 gig memory on it, 2 gigs of memory on it, on a 128-bit bus that runs at 7010 megahertz. And the clock speeds on it are 1241 with a boost of 1304. I hope this was helpful for you, and let's check out the accessories. So what we get with this card for accessories actually are a graphics card quick guide here. You of course get a driver CD, and they actually include two adapters here to be able to go from two 4-pin Molex connectors to 6-pin PCI Express connectors. In case you don't have those on your power supply, you can still use the card if you have enough Molex connectors and enough power left in your power supply. But now what you're all waiting for, of course, let's check out the benchmarks. As you can see from the video, the Gigabyte G1 Gaming GTX 960 is quite a beast. It's quite a bit longer than a lot of the other GTX 960s out there because of the extra cooling on it. It also, of course, has that 6-phase power with the two 6-pin connectors versus the one. So you can push a lot more power into the card, maybe get a little bit more overclocking performance out of it, and it's also going to stay very cool and quiet. So this is definitely, if you're in the market for a GTX 960, this is in the running and one that you definitely are going to want to consider, especially if you don't mind the extra length. Obviously, if you have constraints of size in your case, this isn't going to work for you and you're going to have to go with one of the other solutions. I hope you enjoyed this overview, and please definitely check out our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter pages, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care.